really happy to see such a nice crowd with us this afternoon for this masterclass session, a 30-minute session with our online superstars, Itzshauni and Jakebsweet. So please, so you're seeing the numbers there. Between them, they've got like more than 50 million followers. It's insane thinking about the numbers, isn't it? And they're going to share some insights and secrets on how they got those numbers. So please take a seat, Jake and Itzshauni. Is it your first time in Malta? I believe it is, right? For you, for sure.
Yeah, it's my first time. Very excited to be here.
And what's your first impression like of Malta and the Maltese people? Here you're getting possibly, of course, the most engaged Maltese, but at least online engagers.
I think the country is beautiful and the people are so polite and beautiful as well.
That's really nice to hear. Fantastic. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I think we obviously have a lot more to explore, but the people are amazing and the country is beautiful. Really good.
So let's jump straight into it. Allow me to share with you that among the audience, we do have some aspiring content creators, including some former Love Island participants who are doing really well online as well on the second row there. These are the people, of course, some people from social media outlets, so it's quite diverse. And of course, some people are excited to see Patrice Evra in a couple of minutes. But just share with us how you got where you are today, from where you started.
Okay, I'm going to be completely honest, and it was just an accident. We started making videos kind of in our bedrooms, not knowing where it would take us, and yeah, like 5 or 6 years later, here we are. We've got millions of followers, make videos every single day, but it was a complete accident. We started making videos just for fun, and it led to a career.
This is an important point, though. Making videos every single day. So consistency is possibly one of the first key takeaways you wanted to share with us.
Yeah, definitely. Consistency is really, really important. I can't recommend it enough, especially for platforms like YouTube and TikTok. If you're not consistent, then you may as well not be posting.
Of course, the second question is, but to remain consistent, you need to be creative. You need to find time to think and find engaging, captivating content. How do you do that?
So this is really, really interesting, and actually, like, I want to share with you guys a tool where I find most of my ideas, and believe it or not, it's a tool that every single person in here probably uses every day, and that's just YouTube and TikTok. A lot of people see YouTube and TikTok as a social media platform for videos. I see it as a database, and you can quickly go onto YouTube and TikTok, you scroll, you see likes, you see comments, you see videos that perform really, really well, and that right there is what you need to be doing to be successful on social media. You need to be taking inspiration from videos that are doing well.
I do appreciate that, Jake, but that's very time-consuming, and most of us, we don't have time for that.
Scrolling on TikTok and YouTube.
We do have time for that, but then to somehow create our own content, it's a mammoth task. It's completely challenging.
Yeah, I mean, content creation is quite challenging, can be time-consuming as well. But when you know how to manage it right, and like sometimes scrolling on TikTok and YouTube, you should really be looking at people within your niche as well. They are your competitors, and you need to be looking at them for inspiration. It's going to really, really drive you forwards.
That's a very fantastic point, and I'll touch back to that in a bit. Sean, you've been very quiet so far. Why is that?
I'm very nervous, but jumping in on that, getting ideas, I can get them just from walking through the supermarket. And I think it depends on your niche, but like our niche is very like challenging. So we could be walking through Tesco, see, I don't know, a pot of flour and be like, oh my gosh, that is the best video idea ever. And I don't know how to explain it. But
so what you're saying is you don't really plan your content in advance?
We do plan a lot of content, but sometimes it can just come to us and we're like, yes, let's do that. If that makes sense.
And if you just give us some data on which content you really put effort into and which content which came like surprisingly organic, but it did really well.
So I think really we're kind of switched on for content ideas 24/7. Like we try to find video ideas wherever we can. And going back to the point of like videos doing really well and videos probably not performing well, it's funny because the videos that we put least amount of time into end up actually doing really well. For example, this is going to sound really weird, but the other day I was in a cave with a Minecraft torch, and I videoed it, and it went pretty viral on like Instagram. And it's just a 1-minute video of me in a cave with a Minecraft torch.
Okay, let's put everything into perspective here, Jake. For us, viral is, I don't know, reaching 25, 30K views. What's viral for you?
Viral for me depends on the platform. On YouTube, like anything above 1 million, I'd consider pretty viral. Instagram, 250,000, and then TikTok, yeah, probably over 1 million as well.
Going back to finding your niche, or somehow being inspired by people within your niche. Some people in the crowd might say, but I don't have a niche. From where do I start? I'm lost, I'm just an ordinary person. How I aspire to be like Jake and Itzshauni. I want to, but I'm lost.
I think when you're finding a niche, you first of all start with yourself. So if you have hobbies, if you have interests, anything, then really try and experiment with them. If you're into gaming, then go down the gaming niche. If you're into horses, then take some videos of some horses. And I think that's probably the most important start. But experimenting is a big part of our job, and I really recommend everyone do it.
So experimenting with content, you're saying, right?
So you can experiment with all different types of content. There's obviously different different trends that you can follow within content, and different concepts. So you'll have like different video concepts, also different lengths of videos. That's really, really important. There's a really big difference between short videos and longer videos. And yeah, I'd like to touch more up on that, but it would take so long.
Many people, I believe, they aspire to be full-time content creators like your good selves. When you realize there's an opportunity to be a full-time content creator, you don't know?
Well, I've always been very business-minded. I originally started selling Pokemon when I was younger. That was my story. And then I went to university to study business, but while I was at university, I was also filming, and I very quickly got 1 million followers, and then I dropped out of university, dropped out of my job, and yeah, that was kind of the moment I realized. And from then on, it's just been an uphill journey, which has been really, really amazing.
So when you reach the 4 million followers, you're saying you quit your job, right?
I don't know about, I think it's hard to put a specific number on it. I think when your social media is making double your income, then you should probably consider quitting your job.
And the moment of realization came after a long thought process, or it came like, okay, it's time to take the plunge?
It was actually a really quick thought for me. I was at university, had loads of assignments due, had loads and loads of work to do. And then I was just on my social media, on my TikTok, and I thought, I'm going to go down this route rather than, university.
Mentioning platforms, you're on all main social media platforms, am I right?
Yeah, and I'd really recommend everybody test out every single social media platform, because you do not realize the hidden potential behind some of the smaller platforms. And when I say smaller, they're not small. But Snapchat, you can get millions of views on Snapchat so easily. Same with Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, obviously, and Facebook. Facebook is insane.
Well, Facebook is big in Malta, I must say. Snapchat, not that much. I don't know if I'm lost, but it's not big, isn't it? So definitely Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, they're big here. Going back to the platforms, do you test it? We had content creators telling us, we test it on TikTok first, and then we share it on other platforms. How it works with you?
I think if you're making the content for one platform, you might as well just upload it for every platform, even if it doesn't do well on all of them.
What about the engagement with your audience? How do you determine what sort of content are you creating and caption you're going to create to create engagement? Because that's ultimately your goal, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes back to my initial point of using YouTube, and you can even use your own social media as like a data analysis platform. You can quite easily see what videos are performing well and what aren't, and there are also some really, really good tools online. One on YouTube I really recommend is 1outof10.com, and it's just insane for finding outliers that are performing really well on social media.
That sounded like a very tangible and effective tool. Can you repeat that, please?
The software that I use.
Yeah,
it's called 1of10.com, and a lot of content creators don't know about it, and people will charge you thousands of pounds to use it. But yeah, just go onto the website, oneof10.com, and you can find outliers that will help you boost your content so much.
That's fantastic. A very tangible takeaway there. Oneof10.com. Super. Besides this toolkit you have with you as content creators, what are the not other websites, but what are the tools you recommend for people aspiring to become content creators?
So my number one tool, and probably the best purchase of all time, was my MacBook. From there, I went on to get the Adobe suite. So you got Premiere Pro, Photoshop, and really that is all you need. You can go further on, and you can get a drone. You can get a nice HDR camera. But as long as you've got an iPhone and an Adobe, a Premiere Pro subscription, you can do amazing things on social media.
What about dealing with negative hate comments?
Okay, so hate comments. I've got a really good saying, and imagine you're walking along a road and you see some poo in the road. You wouldn't step on the poo. So why would you listen to one hate comment over hundreds of nice, positive comments? It just doesn't make sense.
So what you're saying essentially, Jake, is focus on the positive, right?
I think people that leave hate comments on videos aren't normal people. Like, it's not worth taking any note of at all. Like, it's just weird, in my opinion.
And 9 times out of 10, they're just jealous of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Can you share a personal anecdote when you received some really nasty comments that possibly were about to affect you personally and possibly mentally as well?
I can't. I honestly, I just completely block them out. I think when you're doing social media, when you get a hate comment, you've got to have very thick skin and just block them out. It's not worth your time, it's not worth your effort, and it's not worth the thought.
That's really... What about you, Itzshauni?
Yeah, oh God. I think it's the same. You just got to block it out, otherwise it can really get to you. So just block it out.
Of course, you cannot rest on your laurels. Like seeing those numbers, it's like, wow, you reached something really meaningful when it comes to online fame. But you have to live up to the expectations of your community and I believe of yourselves. How do you deal with the whirlwind of emotions of being able to live up to the expectations of remaining among the top online creators, content creators in your own niche?
I think that's a big thing, is adapting to kind of what's going on at the time. And like I said earlier, you kind of do always have to be switched on. But the way I see it is, obviously the numbers are big. The numbers are impressive, but it's just our job. We just make videos, and yeah, I think anyone can do it. Anyone can be at the top with us. You just have to rely on strategy, and that's it.
Strategy.
Yeah.
But if we're almost lost from where to create our own strategy, what advice would you give us?
My advice for anybody starting on social media would be to, obviously, first of all, establish your niche. And then what you want to do is find 10 people within your niche. And you need to have a look at their page, have a look at what's doing well, and have a look at what's not doing well. Then you replicate that. And to be honest, the people don't even need to be in your niche. They can be in any niche you want. Just find 10 really successful people and adapt their videos to your niche. And that is the first part of your strategy. And if you do that, I can almost guarantee success on social media.
So going back to the former Love Island participants, what you're saying is they should find 10 former Love Island participants from worldwide, and they possibly consider trying to mold their own personality while remaining authentic, but possibly inspiring themselves and their content from those participants, right?
Yeah. I mean, to say that the Love Islanders should go and have a look at Love Islanders, it's like kind of restricting what they can do so much. But they should definitely look at some really successful people within where they want to be, and then go from there.
We can open I believe, if it's fine with you, we can open the floor for some Q&As from the
Of course.
audience. So feel free just to raise your hands if you have any questions for Jake and Itzshauni. Feel free to ask anything whatsoever. Please, we do have someone, we need a microphone, I guess. So the gentleman there. Great.
Hi. So, for both of you, what would you say was that content, that video in particular, that really defined your presence on social media?
It's a really smart question.
Do you want to go first? The video that my first viral video had like 700,000 views. I had maybe 10,000 followers. And I don't know if you know like Orbeez. They're really, really small balls. And when you add water to them, they expand. And I filled up like a bucket and tipped them down my parents' stairs. And I create this really amazing slow motion shot of like millions of these Orbeez going down the stairs. And yeah, that was my first viral video. And as a result of that, we're not allowed to rent any houses because they're scared that I'm going to do the same in their house. So yeah.
My video was very different. I literally just took a trending audio, lip synced to it, and it went viral. So it's
Wow.
very different how we went viral.
Yeah, I think to further add, then we found this like content strategy that really worked after that, that really blew up, and that's I don't know if you're familiar with the 24-hour challenge kind of concept, and it's basically a video where you start something. Let's say, for example, you could freeze a can of Coke. You put it in the freezer, and then you say, all right, I'm going to show the results in 24 hours. That's a really bad example, but you get the point.
So the theme of this masterclass is building communities, but to build communities, you need to foster the community itself. How do you do that? And how do you make sure that there is a form of engagement between your audience itself?
I think it's super important to ask questions in like your content or in your captions, and that really drives engagement and that helps build community.
Yeah, I think, treating your audience as a family, you need to have those in-jokes, you need to be very personal with them, let them into kind of a certain aspect of your life. But also, like, if you're only doing short content, possibly consider long content as well. Long content builds amazing communities, way, way better than short content.
So raw content, you said?
Longer
Long
videos.
content.
Yeah, so...
Okay, because we have the impression that short content is like a game changer. Best to create short content. When you say long, how long is long?
So how long is long? It's anywhere from 4 onwards. I know people that are making like videos that are half an hour long, and short content is amazing. If you want to build a following, short content is definitely where everybody needs to start. But then when you're making enough money and you have enough time and you understand your content well enough, move on to short content.
Jake,
Long
sorry
content.
for being a pest, but how short is short?
How short is short? Anywhere from 0 to a minute. So
0 to a
anything
minute.
that can go on TikTok and the upright, yeah.
Yeah, because I was listening to content creators saying like 24 seconds is like the ideal time. 30 seconds, 9 seconds, 7 seconds. You're saying between 0 and 59 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it depends. It definitely depends. But yeah, I'm obviously I started with short content. It's got me to where I am. But now I'm absolutely in love with long content. Long content is.
I'm intrigued to learn how do you remain on top of your DMs, inbox, collaborations, content creation. It's incredible. How do you manage all that?
We have a team. So we have people working for us all around the world. We have editors, thumbnail designers. We had strategists, and then we've also got managers that kind of deal with all our inbounds and all of the jobs and stuff like that.
Oh, wow, Jake. So you have to tell us more about from being an employee up until like 5 years ago to not only being a solopreneur, but employing people as well.
It's amazing. It's so nice to kind of look back from where I've come from, and I think the most rewarding thing about this job is just to be able to wake up whenever you want, wherever you want, and be creative. And it's a job that I recommend to everyone.
So going back to the creativity, because you mentioned like going on YouTube, Instagram, and find people in your own niche and trying to get inspired by them. Besides going on those social media platforms, do you get inspiration from anywhere else?
I'm really inspired by music. Music really inspires me. I don't really know how it inspires me to make content, but it more inspires me to be creative. Like when I listen to a song, it kind of puts me in the mood to be creative. And then, what else? Have you got anything? Yeah, I think really music and family and friends, they inspire me a lot to kind of keep going.
That's really nice to hear, music and family.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely my family. I'm trying to get my little brother involved in social media right now, and he actually just reached 200,000 YouTube subscribers. So I'm really proud of him. But it just proves that it's not luck. You know, if somebody wants to be a content creator, take yourself seriously for 3 months, post every single day, and I think you'll be really surprised with the results.
Okay, so your advice is, tangible advice is post every single day. And if people in the audience are saying, okay, I do that every single day, but it's getting nowhere. I'm getting nowhere, like,
I think, you know, there are cases of that happening. And when you are posting every single day and you're not seeing results, you need to look at why you're not seeing results. And it could be that your videos aren't up to the best of quality, or it could be that your videos are going completely off track. Like I said, you need to look at your competition, look what they're doing well, and see how you can replicate that. And I think, really, when it comes to social media, there aren't really many secrets. Like, the secrets are in front of you. And if you kind of go in it with that mindset, you're going to do well.
fantastic. Thank you so much. Jake, I believe we can take another 2-3 questions from the audience. So feel free just to raise your hands and ask anything to our, yes, please. So we have 2 questions from the gentleman there and from the front row as well.
Hi, guys. I wanted to ask you a question. First of all, I love you both. And my question is, how you, of course, you got sponsors. How you got on your first deals of your major sponsors? How did you feel? How did you talk? How did you act? That's my question.
I was over the moon when I first got reached out to. I was like, oh my gosh, a brand actually wants to work with me. Yeah, I was over the moon.
Yeah, I think when you first kind of get reached out to by a brand especially, it's probably one of the most incredible feelings ever. I remember my first time, it was from a watch company, and they paid me like £100 for 4 videos. And back then I was working a full-time job in a cafe, and it was just so rewarding to that hard work is finally starting to pay off. And then, yeah, now it's obviously built up like, yeah, a lot more.
So basically, that was your breaking point. That was like, hey, I'm do this seriously because, hey, it's working. I got my first sponsor. I'm getting paid of it. So let's do it all in.
Yeah, I think when that first sponsor come, it was definitely the realization that, wow, this is probably going to work. I would have probably kept on going even without, because I really like seeing the views and the numbers on social media. I loved like seeing my following go up. It's like building a collection almost.
It's an ego boost. It's an ego boost, basically. It helps you from the inside when you someone, a big company, reaches out and literally tells you, hey, I want to sponsor you. I love your content. You're amazing. Let's work together.
Yeah, exactly. I think yeah, it pushes you. It definitely pushes you to carry on.
Lovely. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We do have another question here. So, yes, please. Thank you.
This might be a redundant question, actually, because, so say you have a business or a company or a film company. Like you said, look at other people, look at their niche, look how they do their videos. Do you have any other added tips or strategies that you can give an example of if you would like to, market your business on social media? Do you have any other different takes, or is it all kind of parallel to one another?
I think with businesses, not everyone sees what these businesses do. So to show behind the scenes is very interesting. People love to see that.
Yeah, I have a funny story that I would like to bring up, and it's I was scrolling through TikTok once, and I found somebody who cleans toilets, like portaloos. And I'm not going to lie, this job is one of the last jobs that I would ever want to do. But he films it every single day, and he gets millions and millions and millions of views just because people are so interested in what goes on behind the scenes. And I think that's really, really important for businesses. We've got a friend who grooms dogs. She cuts dogs' hairs. And we're really encouraging her to get into kind of filming it for YouTube, TikTok, every single social media possible. Because there's going to be a point where this person makes more money through her social media than she does her business. And you know, if she starts now, if she applies herself, the point's going to come very, very soon. So I think really that's just what businesses have to keep in mind is people really, really like to see the extraordinary. And you know, the weirder it is, even if it's not weird, people like to see behind the scenes.
And sometimes finding the extraordinary is extremely challenging.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible, that's what you're saying, right?
No, it's you know, I think...
Nothing's impossible.
Social media is the way forward for businesses in 2024.
How do you keep up with the ever-changing algorithm and the strategies of these big online platforms? How do you keep up with them?
Well, I mean, we keep up pretty good. Like, yeah.
Or you managed to cut through all the changes in the algorithm and what?
I think you know, one thing that really helps us is just doing things properly. We strategize, we script, we really put thought into everything we're doing, and behind every video we post, there's a reason why we post it, whether it's to make money or build an audience, you know. So yeah, I think keeping up with it is a really important thing of it, but it's a really enjoyable challenge.
And do you have like thinking sessions, creative sessions on how to script your content, or it just comes?
Yeah, so another software I use, which I didn't mention earlier, which is so amazing, is called Trello. And it's just like
Trello,
it's
yeah.
an organizer. Do you know about this?
Yep.
It's amazing. I use it all the time to organize absolutely everything. And sometimes I have a to-do list every single day. So I write, you know, kind of what I need to do and tick it off as the days go by.
That's really good.
I think keeping organized and keeping them thoughts somewhere tangible is extremely important.
So one last question, because I believe we have to wrap up. I don't know if you have any questions, feel free to ask, but maybe we can just have some key takeaways to create a community and sustain an online community, whatever it is, and whatever the numbers. Possibly it's almost close to impossible to have those numbers, but at least we created a thriving community. From where do we start in a tangible way?
I think the key takeaways are stay determined to follow your dreams. Like, you know, like actually nothing's impossible. If any person in this room wanted these numbers, they could definitely, there's not anything stopping anyone in this room from copying my videos, you know? And anyone can do it. Absolutely anyone can do it. So yeah, my key takeaways, be determined, be ambitious as well. You know, really strive to over-deliver, and you're going to see really great results.
About you?
I think it's super important to stay authentic to yourself and your content.
Authentic to yourself and to your content.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It was lovely talking to you, lovely having you at the Mediterranean Film Festival. Thank you so much for your tips. A big round of applause to Itzshauni and Jakebsweet.
Thank you.